gives me great pleasure to welcome you all on campus to the AI Quorum NLP workshop. My name's Tim Baldwin. I'm a professor at the university and the head of the NLP department. I'll do more of an intro of the department and me very briefly as part of my opening remarks. I promise I don't have too many slides. So I just wanted to give you a bit of an overview of the workshop itself, and sneak in a little bit of an advertorial for the NLP department and MBZUAI, just because we can, we're hosts and we're very new. So the AI Quorum series, what it's all about, it was kicked off in the last couple of months. I will read off the slide. So it's a series of gatherings designed to stimulate cutting-edge AI research with leading scientists and share an understanding of the discipline as a force for good. The series is strategic and high-level by design. It's focused on curiosity, collaboration, authenticity, and the pursuit of excellence. So in that spirit, we are going to have the AI version of it today. It's a mix of workshops, and we had a strategic retreat about a month or so ago. The other workshops have taken quite a different approach to it, much more sort of focused on a particular topic, particularly interdisciplinary topics on things like collaborative learning or low dimensionality and deep neural networks, sort of very specific technical topics. We're doing something much broader, doing something a little bit different for the first of the NLP workshops that I'll say more about in a moment. So the theme for today is NLP, as in natural language processing, in case there's any doubt. Where are we at, where should we be, and how do we get there? Now, the way that the workshop is structured is we have 8 truly extraordinary speakers on campus, well, 7 on campus, 1 online. I very deliberately gave them very few instructions. I said, interpret as you will, ad lib as you will, be as controversial as you want, push back on any underlying premises in this statement as much as you want. But you know, I guess anyone who knows anything about NLP, modern day NLP, even if you'd only woken up 3 days ago perhaps and discovered NLP and were on Twitter, you would have seen all of the flurry of posts about ChatGPT that have been coming out as sort of the latest generation of, as in, you know, the earlier generation would have been all of 2 weeks ago with Galactica, but yeah, that's kind of the era that we live in. So yet another generative large language model with all sorts of crazy capabilities and shortcomings in various ways. So yeah, that's sort of very much where NLP is at, but I don't want to bias anything in terms of that's going to be the focus of today. As I say, people have, I hope, have interpreted this in very different ways, which will lead to a very diverse series of presentations culminating in a panel at the end. I also didn't do a lot of advertising of the workshop, I have to confess. I don't think the actual schedule for or program for the workshop was advertised formally, so let me do the reveal for our stealth workshop. Well done for finding it. So other than me doing the opening, as I say, it's a series of presentations from our individual speakers. Rather than introducing them on the way, I thought I'd do a batch intro. And one version of the batch intro would simply be to say, you know, these are leading lights, sort of either sort of very much the new generation or sort of people who've been in the field for decades and have built the foundation stones on which the field is built, would be a sweeping statement. But let me go through and introduce them individually, just to give you a little bit more context than that, because yeah, they all deserve recognition for their incredible achievements. So first presenter will be Claire Cardiff from Cornell. Claire, and forgive me for looking at my notes at this point, is the John C. Ford Professor of Engineering in Computer Science at Cornell. She was the founding chair of the Information Science Department. As with all of our speakers, she's done incredible things, and in acknowledgement of that, she's a fellow of ACL, ACM, and the American Association for the Advancement of Science. As I say, I could spend the next 5 minutes introducing Claire, but that might defeat the purpose of the workshop. Next up is Mark Steedman from Edinburgh. Mark's Chair of Computer Science in the School of Informatics at the University of Edinburgh. He also has a big long list of fellowships, including ACL, British Academy, Royal Society of Edinburgh, AAAI. And I think my favourite nugget of information, which says it all about the evergreen Mark, is in consecutive years, he was first the keynote speaker at ACL, as in kind of in recognition that he was a guy who was leading the field, and then the very next year he was the Lifetime Achievement Awardee at ACL. So he is both leading the field as well as sort of has a lifetime of achievement that was recognised. I don't think we'll ever have that repeated in time. We're going to have a break for about half an hour, just out in the courtyard here. Then we'll be back with Barbara Plunk. Barbara recently moved to LMU in Munich. So she's the chair for AI and computational linguistics at LMU Munich, as well as being a professor at the IT University of Copenhagen. And again, she has many, many awards to her name. Really needs no introduction. Yejin is next from the University of Washington and AI2. Yejin is the Brett Helsel Professor of Computer Science at UW. In addition to being a senior research manager at the Allen AI Institute for Artificial Intelligence, the Allen Institute for Artificial Intelligence, AI2. If you look at just the last 2 years of Yejin even, I think she's got Best Paper Awards at ICML, NeurIPS, NACL and AAAI, and she happens to be a MacArthur Fellow, because why not? So that's Yejin. We'll then have lunch. Come back then with Ed Hovey. So Ed's Professor and Executive Director of Melbourne Connect at the University of Melbourne and a Research Professor at CMU. Also, too many achievements to list, including being an ACL and AAAI Fellow. Irina is next, Irina Gurovic. She's a professor at the Department of Computer Science. There'll be a test on this at the end, of course, at TU Darmstadt, where she directs the Ubiquitous Knowledge Processing Lab. She's an ACL fellow. She's vice president of the ACL. And again, many, many achievements to her name. We then have DE from Stanford. So she recently moved from Georgia Tech to Stanford, where she's an assistant professor. She was Samsung AI Researcher of the Year in 2021 and has, again, many awards, including at ACL and CSCW very recently. And then, as our lone online person, we have Mohit Bansal, from UNC, University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill, who's the John R. and Louise S. Parker Professor there and directs the Merge Lab. And again, sort of has a big long list of Best Paper Awards at places like ACL, CVPR, EACL, Colling and Connell. So it should be a good day, suffice to say, given the calibre of our speakers. So we'll then finish up, if that wasn't enough, with a panel. And anyone who's ever organised a workshop will tell you, if you're going to have a panel, never have more than 4 speakers. What we're going to do is have 8 panellists, because why not? So we're going to have our 7 in-person speakers, plus our very own Preslav Nakov, all coming up to the front. What I want to do is, after having given everyone the opportunity to sort of present their own thoughts and ideas and perspectives on the topic, to then sort of come back and have a little bit of maybe crossfire, maybe a little bit of cross-fertilisation of those ideas. I don't expect that we'll actually end up with any consensus, but at least reflect perhaps and open the floor to questions as part of that. So we'll see how we go with that one at the end. And we'll see how we go. We aim to finish up by 5:30. We may still be here at 8:30, given all the things there are to say, but let's not aim for that. So let me just spend a couple of minutes, I don't want to eat into the time of our speakers, just talking for 2 minutes about the university and the department of NLP here, given that we are very new. So the university, rather than kind of giving you a spiel about the university, I thought I would present it in numbers, because we're NLP people. We know that the best way to evaluate anything is with way too many numbers, right? So here's my numeric evaluation of MBZUAI. We are 2 years old. We have almost 3, so we're almost out of the terrible toddler stage. 40 faculty and growing. The aim is to double that by the end of next year. About 100 researchers and growing. 3 departments, so we're basically a single faculty university at the moment in computer vision, machine learning, NLP. Whether you believe in rankings or not, it's only one dimension of any institution, of course, but a little bit of a stat that I pulled out was, according to CS rankings at least, we're one of only 11 institutions in the world to be top 40 across all of those fields. Cornell, Stanford, CMU are also in that group of universities, for example, that are represented today. We're a graduate-only university, so we have 250 students, masters and PhD. We're about 31% female at the moment. A very rich mix of nationalities amongst our students, so well over 40 nationalities amongst our students. We are 100% green-powered. Perhaps given the climate, that's an easier claim to live up to. So you may have seen a big solar farm as you came in, so that's where our power comes from on campus. And I mean, another sort of perhaps surprising tidbit, given people's knowledge about the region, is a mix of some of our international collaborations that we've put together over the last 18 months or so. So in particular, the Weizmann Institute of Science in Israel, through the Abraham Accord. NLP department, very briefly. So we're a department of 4.45. We're very precise with our numbers, as in we have 4 full-time and 2 part-time faculty at the moment, with more in the pipeline. You'll see my face up there as chair, Preslav, who you'll see later, is deputy chair of the department, and we have Mohammed Abdul Magid, who has his hand raised, and Hanan Aldamaki, who is just smiling at me. You can meet later in the second row there, third row. And then Bikshar Raj is fractional with us at the moment. He'll join us full-time from January 1st from CMU as a speech professor. And Chadi Shahata is also not here at the moment, but another fractional appointment at the moment. In the pipeline, and some of them I'm delighted to say are here, we have Alham Aji, who's joining us from Amazon, and prior to that he was in Edinburgh. So this is sort of somewhat in chronological order. So this is in January, Alham will join, Tamar will join us part-time and then go full-time later in the year from the University of Houston. Ted Briscoe will join us in February from Cambridge, Katja Kochmar from Bath. Teresa Lin, as the head of NLP research engagement, will join us from Dublin City University. Nizar is not here at the moment, is sort of rushing around doing lots of NLP things, so he's going to be an adjunct faculty with us, as will Irina, who's one of our speakers today. So we're excited about that, and as I say, so watch this space. We're very much actively hiring, so if you want your face up there, come and chat. So with that, I've probably taken up too much time. Let the games commence.